Hey crafty friends, it's Joy here for Heffy Doodle. Today I'm going to show you how to create a fun, easy shaker card using the Build a Pond die. So I'm starting with this largest piece from that die. I am going to cut this from green cardstock. Now this is going to be the top part of our card. So the front of our card is going to be this whole green card panel. So when you die cut it, you're going to get the shape and then you get a nice little frame around it, which is really, really awesome. I don't need that inside piece, so I'm going to put that aside, but I did also off camera die cut this from white cardstock because I'm going to need that white inside piece. So here is that piece. I am using the Ripple Waves stencil. I sprayed the back with some pixie spray because I don't want this to move around. So let's create this water. You guys, this Ripple Wave stencil is fantastic. So I am using Aegean ink. Then I'm going to use ocean around the outside. So I wanted this greenish blue water for this pond. I didn't want like ocean looking water, but I didn't want it to be all the way green. So now I can peel back that stencil and I can lightly go over it with Tropic ink because I don't want those ripples to be so stark white, but that softens it, and look at that fun water. Okay, so now I have my white card panel. A2 sized. I'm going to tape that green panel in place. I will tape the frame in place. I'm doing this because I want to be able to add that stenciled piece that we just did right in the center, exactly where it's going to match up, so when we add our shaker top, everything lines up. So you'll see what I mean here in just a little bit. So I'm going to put that in place. And then I can take all of the other pieces off because now that's centered exactly where it needs to be. Let's add our acetate to the front of this. So I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue. Don't overdo your liquid glue. Keep it really light so it doesn't squish out the sides onto your acetate panel. So I have my acetate adhered to that. I will trim the excess off, but I want to get this frame down first. So again, just a little bit of liquid glue. I can put that frame down and then trim that excess acetate off around the edges. Now I'm adding 2 layers of foam adhesive. I'm using foam adhesive strips. So I have 1 layer down. I'm adding the second layer right on top. This is going to give us plenty of room to add all of our shaker bits. That way it can move around freely and not get stuck. I'm going to put my card panel, the stenciled one, into my Misty. This is going to help me line everything up nice and easy. I have put in the Enchanted Moss sequence, all this beautiful shaker bits. It's perfect for this pond. And then I can put down my top layer, which has my acetate and my double layer of foam adhesive. So I can put that together, and now we have our shaker piece. I'm using the rest of the Build a Pond die, and I have die cut grass, lily pads, cattails, and flowers from 2 colors of green cardstock and then some pink and white cardstock for the flowers. And brown for the cattails. So let's glue our cattails. I'm adding a little bit of liquid glue at the top. Adding that little brown piece is going to give it the proper coloring for a cattail. So I have 4 of these. Then you can see there's 2 sizes of grass. There's a larger grass and a smaller grass. I have the outline to the flower that's die cut in pink, and I'm adhering that to the white background, the solid white background. I have 3 of these. Reverse tweezers and liquid glue are the best option for doing something like this. Then I have stamped these cute frogs, a rock, a birthday cake, a little party hat, and these are all from the Hoppy stamp set, and these little frogs are so darling. So this, of course, is going to be a birthday card. I definitely need more of those in my stash, so I'm coloring these with Copic markers. The frogs are YG 61, 63, and 67. And then we have the cake that is going to be R8183, YR0102. The rock was T3 and 5, and then a little bit of yellow with Y06. And I will use the coordinating dies to die cut out all of these little images. And then of course we have like a little fly or mosquito, whatever it wants to be, that we are going to die cut as well. I'm stamping the sentiment from the Be Hoppy stamp set that says Hoppy Birthday, which is obviously super cute, with black ink on white cardstock. I'm using the Misty to get that done, and then I can trim this out with my paper trimmer. And then we have all of our pieces and we can actually start assembling this card. I'm going to speed this up really fast because there's a lot of elements to put here. I decided I wanted some grass and a cattail behind the sentiment, and I wanted the sentiment out of the way. I didn't want to cover up this cute pond with everything that's going on, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Sometimes when I'm doing scene cards, I really like to fill it up full, and so this is definitely one of those cards, but I'm doing things in such a way that it's not going to cover up that whole pond. This is a shaker card. You want to see all of those shaker bits moving around. So I did keep that in mind when I was placing down all of my little objects here. So on the right side, I have the sentiment. On the left side, I have more grass, a cattail, the rock, and the flower. One thing I do have to say, what I really like about this card is I did combine coloring images with solid die cut images. You can definitely do that. It is a lot of fun, and you can see that it turns out perfect. I'm adding one of these, well, two of the flowers will be on top of the small lily pads, and in the stamp set, the Be Hoppy stamp set, there is also lily pads. I just opted to not use those. I used the die cut ones. We have that little frog in the back who's jumping off of his lily pad. We have another little frog in the back just sitting there kind of by that fly that's buzzing around. And then we have the frog here in front that I'm going to say it's his birthday. So he has the birthday hat and he is going to have the birthday cake right next to him. Now I'm going to put this on the top of an A2 size card base, and then look at the shaker bits inside of here. It is so super cute. I hope that you guys love this shaker card. Thank you so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you feel inspired, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.